I think if you watch what Gavin's doing here, you're seeing exactly how masculinity works. And that is that people define it in a particular way and then threaten those who don't conform. So people who question gender are called wimps. They're considered not strong enough. There are fantasy studies which show that, taking a sort of deconstructive view of gender makes people miserable, and we really are slaves to our biology, and we should just get back to the way things were. This is called the policing of masculinity, and it's extremely common in the culture.
So, Gavin, I want to let you respond to that, to both of those. Go ahead.
I don't know why I do these things. I'm not enforcing anything on anyone. I'm saying the opposite of that. I'm saying we are ignoring the vast majority of the way people naturally behave. I don't want to enforce anything on anyone. You're the ones doing the enforcing. You're the ones saying women have to be in the fire department as often as they are in the real world.
I didn't hear anybody say that. That must have been in your head.
Okay, well, my gut says that the majority of women like being domestic and shaping lives. And until you've tried it, I wouldn't poo-poo it or
my wife's a professor
okay?
of medicine. She's pretty okay in what she's doing.
Oh, good. You found some anecdotal evidence to prove your point. Congratulations.
Well, I also
wait, hold on, guys. Hold on. Let's let Gavin finish, and then we'll go to someone else.
All I'm saying is people would be happier if women would stop pretending to be men and we'd stop trivializing childbirth and domesticity. It's shaping a life. That's way bigger than what I do. I make commercials and funny videos. That's nothing compared to shaping a life.
Mm-hmm. But Gavin, why isn't it that someone who is masculine can't shape a life like that? Why is it that we separate that for someone that's feminine?
I'm sure it's possible for them to be house husbands who are perfectly happy and good at functioning, but you people have taken that as the norm now, and it's ridiculous. You look ridiculous, okay? When I see a guy, we've got guys who their wives won't take their last name. They stay at home while the wife makes money, and they think that they're happy, and I'm sure a tiny percentage are. But when you swing the pendulum so far away from the natural world, you all look like a bunch of fools.
Yeah, but Gavin, you're confusing the natural world with societal norms that were established only 100 years ago in terms of taking someone's name, or hundreds of years ago. You're not. This isn't the natural order. That isn't evolution.
Well, who says it's not the natural order? I'm talking about 40,000 years. You're talking about a generation. And I see these people, okay? I see these 40-somethings who've been pushed, these women who've been pushing their careers, and they're fucking sad, okay? They want to adopt. They're taking hormones. They're trying to argue about stuff. Can we get a fucking surrogate? They're making twins because they're taking so many hormones. They're spending tens of thousands of dollars because they waited too long. And I can see it's going to happen to you. I forgot your name, but I know you don't have kids.
Marianne, we have to go, and I want you to respond to that and wrap us out.
Well, I do think it's interesting because Gavin is, in fact, presenting what's wrong with masculinity right now. It's this insistence that things have to be a certain way. What does his evidence for that?
I'm not insisting anything, you fucking idiot.
Oh,
Gavin, take it down.
This is what masculinity looks like. This is exactly what it looks like. Now, why is Gavin so scared? Why is he so frightened of the fact that some women don't want to have kids, some women do, some men want to take care of their kids, some men don't? Nothing should be frightening about that. The only thing people need to be scared of is people like Gavin who are simply imposing their way and saying it has to be this way and pretending to be concerned about people's happiness. If people are truly happy doing something, if it really is in their instincts, no amount of culture is going to change that. It's not as though you stop being hungry because society tells you not to. So the fact of the matter is, if our society is getting more equal, men are doing things that they didn't do before, women are doing things that they didn't do before, and we're getting healthier and happier as a society, there's nobody who should...
Cowboy, the athlete, the policeman, and the soldier are some of the most recognized images of masculinity over the years. But the cowboy died of lung cancer, the athlete got caught doping, the policeman shot an innocent bystander, and the soldier lost his life fighting an unnecessary war. So who are the heroes of masculinity now, and how do we currently define masculinity in a post-feminism world?
Why are all you wimps taking it for granted that violence is bad and that being macho is bad? That's how we got here. This idea of this beta male being powerful and in control is what, 20, 30 years old? You're going against 40,000 years of evolution. And if you want to talk about baseless, stupid violence, punching someone in a bar, that has been plummeting for the past 50 years. And to say we're a culture doused with guns, gun violence has all gone down. So totally irrational, stupid violence has all been going down. And so this idea that there's all these shootings, so they're on the rise, it's a quantifiable myth. But the idea of men having to be tough, sorry, but we're the breadwinners for the majority of cases in the Western world. And yeah, there's an element of violence or at least toughness in running a business. Just the other day, this coworker was telling us, what the fuck, you moved this director over to this other job? And I had to come back and say, don't fucking give me this what the fuck shit, okay? We moved the director to a job that was paying more money. It was almost like a fist fight with words, and I had to do that in order to generate income to pay my bills, to feed my children, okay? So this innate toughness that men have is crucial to our survival.
But Gavin,
I don't think it's not crucial.
But Gavin, isn't society changing in the moment where women have that toughness as well, and women are becoming the breadwinners, and that men aren't just the sole breadwinners anymore?
We've trivialized childbirth and being domestic so much that women are forced to pretend to be men. They're feigning this toughness. They're miserable. Study after study has shown that feminism has made women less happy. They're not happy in the workforce for the most part. I'm sure 7%, I would guess 7%, like not having kids. They want to be CEOs. They like staying at the office all night, working on a proposal, and all power to them. But by enforcing that as the norm, you're pulling all these women away from what they naturally want to do, and it's making them miserable. Okay, they don't like that shit.
I want to let Marianne jump on this one.
That's ridiculous.
Go ahead, Marianne.
Yeah, I'd like to say as a feminist that I'm pretty darn happy, and I don't think I'm in the minority, and there are plenty of studies showing exactly the opposite, that when you actually have couples, when you have men and women both, are happier when they actually have accepted the fact that there is no such thing as innate characteristics. There is no such thing as women really want to do this and men really want to do this. That's exactly the source of policing and control and the kind of misery. I'm not done yet, Gavin, so you can be aggressive on your own time. But the idea here is that there's nothing about being tough or being aggressive or being successful that has at all related to being a male. It has everything to do with trying to make sure that you can be a good person, be good for the rest of your family if you choose, and you're contributing something to society. It's a really pernicious myth, this idea that there's something about being male that makes you either better equipped, better able, more likely to succeed, or to do any of these things that we should value in our society. It should be a fairly simple conversation that if there are good things for people to do that improve everybody's lives, that make society better, less violent, more interesting, more creative, more fun, more sexy, those are things that we should be talking about that everybody can do. And it's just a sign, as I was saying, of weakness and fear and at least some kind of figurative impotence to say, no, it has to be like this. I demand that it stay like this. And all of you who are doing things that are different are messing with nature. And I really need you to stop. That's a real sign of weakness.
Hey, Gavin, all right, we got a break. We'll come back.